Okay. I don't have anything else to add for
Nope.
Unity. There's
I don't either.
bad decision making. Okay. Development update for Hades 2. Early access starts next year. Hades 2 to launch in early access in Q2 2024 on Steam and the Epic Game Store. We'll have more details on exact date, pricing, and system requires closer to that time. So this is what they did for Hades. Hades went into early access as well, and you know, it was in early access for, I don't remember how long, but it felt like quite a while. I think the early access was
like 2 years or so.
I think the early access was limited to Epic Game Store only.
It was Epic at first, and then like 9 months to a year later, it went on Steam for.
Yeah, they must have had some. They definitely had a deal with Epic to start.
They made a deal. Yeah, they made it.
They made a deal with Epic.
To start out.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, obviously Hades 1, extremely popular game, great game. Hades 2 is likely going to go the same way. Looking forward to seeing that go into early access and seeing the reception of it. Interesting that I see that it's Steam and Epic Game Store, so no deal this time for exclusivity. And then I'd be curious to know what the official launch date out of early access is at some point in the future as well. But I don't have anything to add really. I mean, Q2 2024 is that's not too far off.
April, May, June next year, so
it's not too far off.
You know, 7 to 9 months away.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean I thought at the Game Awards they said that it was going to go into early access in 2023, but I guess they just couldn't get it ready in time. So, little disappointing from the delay, but you know, again, I'd rather them delay it than rush it and have it be crap. Well, like, you know,
just have it not work.
They know what they're doing, you know. And they said in the post that it's gonna have as much content on early access here as it did when it released on Steam in early access. So that was a little further down the line, obviously, because it was like 9 months or so on Epic exclusively. So there's gonna be a little more there's gonna be more content this time than the original like start of early access for the first Hades.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, I'm excited. Good. I definitely had a phase over the winter where I got super into Hades, and that game is really fun.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to this. I probably will play early access when this comes out next year.
Well, I'm sure plenty of people are. Be interested to know the price too. They said pricing. I think the original Hades.
I think it's 25 or 30.
25 or 30. I would imagine. I'd be interested to know if it's the same price point.
It is. It goes on sale a lot, but it is 25 the base price.
I'd be interested to know if Hades 2 is going to be the same price or more. I feel like 25 was actually really good for the price. You got a lot for the price.
I mean, I think they could go up to 30 or even 40, and people would still probably pay.
Yeah, I feel like you got a lot for the price, which is good. I mean, obviously, like that's great. I'm not saying
Hades was a steal in terms of the content.
Yeah,
the price. Like
anyway. I don't have anything really to say here. I mean, I know this game is going to be popular, so be curious to know the price. That's about it. Especially if early access is going to be the price it would be when it releases. I know sometimes early access is the same price, but other times they'll make it like $10 cheaper or something.
Yeah.
But not always. I think Baldur's Gate early access was the same price as release. I don't think they actually made it cheaper at all. Which is, I mean, whatever. I got like a full game's worth of play in early access, so I'm not complaining. Anyway. Okay. Let's talk about, oh god. I don't remember. State of play. You said you didn't have a ton with state of play to say?
Let's do state of play first, because I don't think I have much to say about the state of play.
The only thing I see at the very bottom is Final Fantasy Rebirth.
Yep. Final Fantasy Rebirth was the big headliner for this one. It was the thing at the end. We got a release date, which was at the end of February. I don't exactly remember. February 20
February 29th.
29th. Okay, so
on 2 discs.
I guess 2024 is a leap year. So
two discs. Wait a second. 2 discs. We're not going. No. No. We can't go backwards to 2 discs again. We can't do this again. I don't want to do this again. We're done with 2 discs.
It's gonna be like 200 gigabytes or some nonsense.
We can't go backwards and start going back to 2 discs. The days of 2 discs had to stop. That was the, like, it wasn't obviously like the worst, but God, it's so annoying. It was so annoying to be like, pop in disc 2. It's like, fuck, gotta get disc 2. Like Dead Space 2 had 2 discs. Didn't Mass Effect have 2 discs? Something else had 2 discs. I know of. I think Mass Effect 2. We got to be past 2 discs, which means it's going to be like 200 gigabytes on your PC if you want to play it on PC at any point in time in the future. Obviously, not now. It's probably take like a year or so, but still, like 2 discs. Spoon, we can't get to this point again. We can't.
I mean,
we can't do this again.
The size of the game is the size of the game. If it doesn't fit on 1 disc, then they put it on 2 discs. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
We can't keep doing this. We can't go backwards.
Most people are gonna buy it digitally anyways. So,
and digitally, I can't wait to see the size. If it needs 2 discs for a PS5,
it'll be at least 150, if not closer to 200.
I think 200. I haven't seen 2 discs in over 10 years. Which is like
literally a quarter of the freaking storage space for the PS5.
And at that point, we gotta go back and figure this out. You gotta optimize storage space. I don't know what you're doing. Can we figure out compression at all? Can we figure it out? 200. I don't think it's 200. Maybe 150. But still. I'm being irrational about the 2 discs. But like, that to me signals that these guys are like, oh yeah, we're just going to get to 200 gigabytes and gamers are just going to have to deal with it. Your whole computer is going to be my game. That's a problem. That is a problem. Storage space, I know we've mentioned this before, it's not like it's super expensive, but it's also extremely frustrating to have to adhere to like 1 or 2 games clogging up my entire disk space. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I don't like this. Can we learn compression? Can we please learn compression at some point? Something. I don't like this trend. I really don't like this. Like, it's just, again, PC storage space, you can get terabytes. I get it.
Yeah.
Just like, what the fuck?
You can get a memory expansion for the PS5 as well.
I got it.
A couple of terabytes as well.
Got it. I don't want to get to the point where everyone's like, oh, well, I'm just going to have to get a memory expansion and it's just the norm. I don't want to get there.
Oh, it kind of is. So.
It doesn't have to be. It really doesn't.
Either that or you just like uninstall and reinstall shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's
like nobody's business.
Honestly,
that's the workaround. It's like, yeah, you just install stuff and then when you're done with it, you make sure you uninstall it, or if you need to install something new.
That's funny. That's what we say at work all the time. Oh, we have a workaround. Doesn't solve the problem. I do not like hearing workaround right now. I hear it at my job every day. Don't tell me workaround. Doesn't solve a problem.
I mean,
doesn't solve it. My whole job is solving problems, Spoon.
I mean, the problem is like either the games are too big, which like, okay, I have no idea how compression for a video game works, and maybe they can compress it more. I have no idea. Or, you know, the console makers just needs to give us more internal storage, which I would like, but at the same time, you know, it's expensive for them to put like a bigger drive in the console, so they're gonna lose money or lose more money or not make as much money, whatever, if they do that. So they're not gonna do that.
I mean, I gotta be this guy. Sony, you're gonna make profits on your console? You don't make profits on your console, Sony. It's okay to lose some money on the console.
Usually they don't.
It's okay to lose a little bit extra money on your console.
What would it cost? I wonder what it would cost them for them to put like a 2 gigabyte in there instead of,
or 2 terabyte.
2 terabyte in there instead of a 1, maybe like $50 more.
Yes, thank you. Just charge $50 extra for the system. Just do it. Don't make me go to the store and do that. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Just give me 2 terabytes.
And honestly, for Sony, let's be honest, like they're buying it at like a manufacturing plant price or something like that. It's probably
They're not
costing them pennies on the dollar compared to what we actually pay for
right.
like a
So
2 terabyte hard drive, right?
like I'm not liking this idea of like, okay, 2 discs. Oh well, we can just get more storage. It's like, okay, but that doesn't solve the problem. The problem is these games are taking up ever so much more space. We were at like 80 and we were complaining 100, 120.
Yeah, it's like
When's it
spiked.
gonna
Like I don't know.
stop?
The PS5 games are generally like that I have at least are like they're like 80 to 100, something like that, right? Yeah, getting up in like 150, 200 is a little ridiculous. Well, Baldur's Gate's like 120 or something
and
like that.
And
like,
it's crazy. I can
like,
understand why that one's
that game's
120.
ginormous.
I can understand that
so,
one.
I think Total War Warhammer 3 is something like that as well. It's like 120 or something like that.
I get Baldur's Gate being 120. I know kind of why that is that way.
I still don't like Call of Duty's like 150 or something. No, that doesn't make any sense. And like the new the new Jedi Survivor game that came out, that game was like 150 or something, and that's nonsense.
That makes sense.
Like that's like a 10-hour single player game. Like how is that 150 gigabytes? I don't know. Like, again, Baldur's Gate is a ginormous game with all these voice lines and whatever.
There's tons of audio files in there.
Warhammer 3 as well was like a huge game with all these different factions and all this stuff, all these assets.
Tons of assets.
For like a Call of Duty or a Jedi Survivor, to me, to be that big is Final Fantasy. We'll see how big and long the game is. It'll kind of depend, but Anyway,
ranted about 2 discs for a while.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about. I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a lot to say about the game. It looks like more Final Fantasy VII Remake with like a bit of a more of like an open world vibe going on, which is kind of what expected because we're outside of Midgar now in the second part.
Yep. Game looks really pretty, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, you expect that. That's kind of what you get out of. That's what you get out of Square.
I clicked out of the state of play for a second. There we go. Yep, there you go. That weird like.
Yeah.
I'm always like, don't get me wrong, I like the graphics in Final Fantasy. It's like that weird realistic but mixture, but also anime. I'm like I said, I think it looks great, but at the same time I've always been like, it's a little weird sometimes looking at it to me. It's a weird mixture at times. Look at that beautiful hair. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a big segment on Spider-Man in this state of play. They did,
yep.
Which, people are hyped. People are hyped for that.
They did. Well. They had like a almost 5 minutes about it. So
well,
I think
I don't really remember what. Oh yeah, the Tales of Arise DLC. There was a like 2-minute trailer on that. Which
whoa, wow, somewhere.
Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, so this was a bit of a surprise to me. Like,
interesting.
I liked Tales of Arise, and I'm not gonna complain about there being a DLC for it. We don't know how much it's gonna cost, and they said 20 plus hours of content, so there's gonna be a decent amount of content.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
But I'm also hoping that they're also working on a new Tales game, because I mean, yeah, again, I'm not gonna complain about an Arise DLC, but I also kind of want them to be working on a new game.
They can't do both?
I mean, they can. That's what I'm hoping, that they're doing both. And also the end. I know you didn't finish Tales of Arise, but I didn't see much place for a DLC like at the end of the game. Like it was a pretty it was kind of the normal conclusive but inconclusive ending of Tales of Arise. Like there wasn't really anywhere else to go with the story. It's like, well, we fixed the problem and there's like a new world and we don't know how the new world is gonna go. But there wasn't really space for a DLC in there other than just
adding one. Why not?
You saw some stuff that indicated they're working on the next one, but it's still near early stages. Yeah. Oh, I did see a news item. I don't remember if it was this week or last week. I think it was this week that the director of the Scarlet Nexus team got like moved back to Tails, so that
Oh, okay.
that guy is going to be working on Tails again, as opposed to, which kind of like, it makes me happy and sad at the same time. It kind of means that like we're not going to get another game from the Scarlet Nexus team.
No,
which I know you loved that game, and I didn't like it as much as you did, but I liked it. It was fun.
I'm not surprised. I'm really not that surprised. I'm gonna guess that game didn't sell as well as they would have hoped.
I don't think it sold.
And I think they're like, all right, Tales of Arise sold well though. Let's focus there, and that's the right play. That's the right play. The right play is go with the thing that sold better. Tales sold better this time. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Scarlet Nexus, I'm guessing, just didn't sell particularly well. I'm sure it did okay on Game Pass. I'm sure it did okay on Game Pass, but it's gotta sell. It's still gotta sell. So I just don't think it sold very well. But yeah, it's the right move. It's the right move.
Scarlet Nexus broke 1 million apparently, that's not bad for a new IP for a JRPG. That's
good.
Bad at all.
That's great,
especially since like it was advertised mostly at like Xbox conferences, which is like, Xbox is not your friend if you're a JRPG developer usually. Like,
no, it's not.
You can put your game on Xbox, but like you don't really want to advertise heavily with like only Xbox, because JRPG is like PlayStation. There's some on Switch, but usually those are the like Switch exclusive ones, and then like PC now. Obviously, Xbox is not the place you go.
Xbox doesn't. JRPGs. They don't do that. They were like,
yeah. Anyways, I'm excited for Tales. I love Tales of Arise, especially the combat. So I'm excited to play more of Tales of Arise. Maybe I'll actually. I don't know if I'll have time, but like part of me wants to like replay the main game, and then play the DLC after that. But we'll see if I have time for that.
There's a Resident Evil DLC, by the way.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil DLC.
Another mission is underway here. More Resident Evil. Obviously. I saw some news about this. I heard something about a Roblox dating thing. That somebody at Roblox is like, we're gonna add dating in Roblox.
Okay.
There
was something from Roblox, and
that's what keyed me onto it.
I don't remember what it was. I wasn't really paying attention.
I don't know. It's Roblox. Roblox is weird. I can't with Roblox, but I did hear some weird thing about Roblox adding like a dating thing in the game, and I was like, that's a horrible idea. Whoever thought of that, you're gonna cause a lot of problems. You really shouldn't do that. But yeah, then there was the Resident Evil 4 DLC. Honkai Star Rail had stuff. I'll be honest, most of this stuff wasn't really up my alley anyway, so anything else or Nintendo?
Let's go to Nintendo.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't care for the state of play too much other than Arise and Final Fantasy.
Nintendo time. So Super Mario RPG. So we got some Super Mario RPG. I'm going down a list.
So what I'll say about this Direct in general is, I don't know, the Direct was very Mario centric, and also very like, is very like, there's so many like remakes and DLCs. It's like almost everything in this was either a remake or a DLC. Like, it's Splatoon DLC, obviously the Pokemon DLC they did a slurp, and then you have like Super Mario RPG remake, you have Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake, Luigi's Mansion remake, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. That's what they closed with.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels to me that it's like there was like a few new games, like the Princess Peach game, and then the obviously Mario Wonder, which I don't think they actually showed in this. They
didn't show. But, they didn't show it.
But it had its own Direct like a week or two ago, so that's fine.
Tim Goodman. Oh God.
To me, and again, I'm kind of like inferring from rumored information that we know about, but like with this direct, it really feels like they're gearing up for another console because like there's not a lot of new stuff.
Well,
It's mostly just like they're just like remaking and porting stuff to Switch to like, you know, take the time like for basically between now and next fall when it's a rumor that that's when the new Switch is going to come out next fall. So,
well, to be fair, like that Super Mario RPG, it looked like they rebuilt that.
Yeah, they did.
They look like they 100% rebuilt that.
And I'm not saying these games are like total cash-ins or like low effort, and like a lot of these, you know, people were super hyped for Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. That is an incredible game from, you know, the GameCube era. You know, that if you haven't played Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, you should buy this remake and play Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door because that is a great game. And other than that, there was the things I was excited about in this direct were we got a release date for Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes finally, which is April. And then the new announcement of the new Vanillaware game called Unicorn Overlord, which looks, yeah, it's a stupid name. It's a pretty stupid name.
Unicorn Overlord is this is not a good name for a game, but it's certainly unique. I'll give it that. It's unique.
The name is a big, and as soon as you saw it, you could kind of tell it was Vanillaware because it's their sort of like super detailed, awesome like 2D art style that they do when it gets into the game. Like their games just look so good. Like, and yeah, this is a tactics RPG, which is a new one for Vanillaware. Generally, they've done like side-scrolling action RPGs, which was like Muramasa and Odin Sphere and Dragon's Crown actually, and then they had 13 Sentinels, which I guess that was a tactics RPG, but that was more of a visual novel. The combat with the mech, you know, the mechs was kind of, it was whatever to me. It was fine, but that game was still amazing because the story was so good. But this game was like a big surprise and looks freaking awesome to me. So I'll definitely play this game because Vanillaware is awesome, and I like tactics RPGs as well. So you know.
Anything else?
Those are kind of the big hitters for me from the direct. Obviously, Paper Mario, Ward Roof 2, okay, you know, Mario Kart. Kind of looking like, you know, it had all the usual.
I can't believe you completely are just ignoring it.
Oh yeah,
you're just completely ignoring F-Zero.
They brought F-Zero back, guys. F-Zero 99.
F-Zero 99.
F-Zero's not dead.
The Battle Royale racing game, F-Zero. It is pure chaos. I'm just watching this and it's pure chaos. Oh, you crashed out, so you lose. I gotta admit, like, I think it's silly to call like this a battle royale. I mean, I get it, it is, but I think it's silly. I think it's so silly to call it a battle royale because it's
a little race. Buzzword. It's just a 100-person.
It's just a 100-person race, but if you crash, you lose. Like, I get it, but like,
you don't respawn. You don't respawn if you die.
You don't respawn. Yeah.
You just lose,
so I get that as the idea for like the battle royale. So I'm like, I think that by itself. Okay.
Now that I think about it, I think F-Zero was always that way. If you like died in F-Zero, you wouldn't respawn. I think you just lose automatically. Like,
but for putting an F-Zero out there, I think this is the right idea. That being said,
people want a new F-Zero game. People have been asking for a new F-Zero game.
People have been asking for an F-Zero game. That I'm 100%. I get that. So you can get it with your Nintendo Switch Online membership. I don't know. I'd be curious to see how popular this is and how it stays popular. The biggest, obviously, like, just calling this out, you gotta have a consistent player base with something like this. Yeah. I'm guessing they're putting bots in some games. I'm just gonna guess that. That's what everybody does in Battle Royales now to try and make sure that you get slow, or you get short short queue times.
Yeah.
But my concern is, can this keep a big enough player base for long enough? I am a little bit worried about that, because that's kind of what that can cause a problem for any battle royale. Is like, okay, if you can't keep a certain number of a player base, like, your game is just going to be bots, and that's not that ruins the spirit of it. I mean, like, Fortnite, I want to say Fortnite has that problem, but it can get that way in games. You're just like, I'm just playing bots like for this game. Like, this isn't really like what I want out of my battle royale. So anyway, so F-Zero 99 was a thing. I mean, I think it's good. I think this is the right idea though for an F-Zero game. Anything else besides paper? I'm trying to look through. I know we got Detective Pikachu Returns. We got some stuff for that. I think that'll be a hitter. Oh, I keep looking at Unicorn Overlord, and I'm just like, that name.
The name is.
Let's see. WarioWare, love WarioWare. I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff in here. There was a lot of stuff in here.
All of a sudden, we got these now, like, early next year is like totally jammed. Like, it's gonna be, at least if you're a JRPG fan, like, early next year is like super jammed. You've got Persona 3, you've got Persona 3 Reload, you've got Final Fantasy, you've got Unicorn Overlord, you've got Eiyuden Chronicle. Like, yeah, early next year is looking pretty hype for JRPGs at least.
Yep. I don't have much else to say with the direct. There was a lot of stuff in here now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
there's a shit ton of stuff.
There was quite a lot.
Yep.
As I said, a lot of the big ones were mostly like remakes and DLCs.
Yeah.
To be honest, like the big Nintendo stuff was just like, yep, Luigi's Mansion remake and Paper Mario remake and Super Mario RPG remake, and the new games are like the Princess Peach game.
Yep. There was
F-Zero 99.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's also kind of a remake because it's just like, it's the first F-Zero, but as a battle royale basically, right? Or a 99 player game. So
hold on. A League of Legends story.
Oh yeah, there were the two like League of Legends side games.
Interesting.
There
Okay.
was the new one, and the
New and Bandle. It said Bandle Tale, a League of Legends story, and then there was Song of Nunu. Interesting. Okay. For Switch. Yeah. Among Us. Okay. And then Paper Mario ended it. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I don't have much to say. A lot of stuff. Anything else?
Nope, I'm good on the Nintendo Direct.